Welcome back. Applications for the 2023 French Institute of South Africa Fête de la Musique in Johannesburg officially closed yesterday. The Fête de la Musique, or World Music Day, is a popular and free music festival that takes place each year in France on the day of the summer solstice and the shortest night of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. Throughout the country and abroad, jazz, soul, funk, rock, electro, reggae and classical music and many other musical stars are enthusiastically celebrated. Organized by the French Institute of South Africa and co-produced by Bassline, the Fête de la Musique has been celebrated with a full day of free family-friendly concerts, which offers a great opportunity and platform for upcoming bands. Over the last 12 years, the Fête de la Musique allows everyone to discover new musical trends from traditional music to rap, hip-hop, techno and jazz. Well, to talk to us more about this musical extravaganza, we're joined in studio by Fête de la Musique co-producer Brad Holmes, as well as the French Institute of South Africa's project manager, Corentin Krapal. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning.
I suppose let's give a background of what Fête de la Musique is about. I mean, for as long as I've known, we've always had Fête de la Musique around this time of the year.
Yeah, Fête de la Musique is born in France in 1982, so it's now the 41 years of the festival, and it's basically, as you mentioned, a free festival which happens in every place in France, like a big city like Paris, Lyon, but also small village. There is always band, artists, DJ who are playing. It's free, it's for all, and as it's the longest day in the years, so it's a very big event and very well known, and it's also a space for emerging talents to express themselves and maybe to be discovered by a producer or other music industry.
Talk to us, Brad, about the production of a festival of this magnitude and making sure that these bands, come together on this particular stage.
So what we've done over the past years, and it's really grown into it's become its own a movie. This Fête de la Musique in Johannesburg. So we send out a call to applications. We stop at 300. Then it goes through a judiciary process. We've got 3 international people that judge and 3 South African people that judge. Choose 28 acts. They're all emerging, and we align it with 4 acts that are famous, and then what we do is we program them. What we'll be doing this year is we're doing 2 stages at the Victoria Yards, 3 stages at Newtown Junction. Newtown Junction has been the hub for the last 10 years, 10 years, and then we do one at the Alliance Française.
Right.
So it attracts a nice, diverse, young audience, but most importantly, there's a lot of artists that get picked up by the music industry and have been part of the process. I remember Sun, musician, for example, performing in 2015.
Yeah.
So Fête de la Musique's been part of his process. Misaki, Nakane, Zoe Madiga, all these excuse me, my wife would just slap me, so they have all come through with the faith being part of their process and growth into becoming professionals in the music industry. So from that perspective, we see it as a talent spotting process, and obviously with the French Institute and Total, they are investing in South African talent, which I think Corentin would speak more to.
Talk to us about that, what Greg has just mentioned, and why does this kind of concept, work in South Africa? It wouldn't have worked in any other country, but for some reason, Fête de la Musique works in South Africa.
I think it's because you have a lot of emerging talents who need a space to express, and it's one of our main focus in French Institute. It is to create like incubator, as we did with Brad and for the Fête de la Musique, and with the support of Total, it's allow with this money to create this incubator to make emerge new talents, new artists, and we do this for music, but we also work in cooperation with South Africa for all the industrial, creative, cultural sectors. So it's one of our main focus, and it's very important for us.
Speak to us about the process of, identifying that talent and the process of making sure that just the right ones are the ones get on stage.
So the most important thing is that it's a really open process. So the judges don't know each other and they never communicate. And then what happens is 3 people from abroad, okay, they don't know the South African music scene. They're only looking at it from a musical perspective. And then we've got people that have got their finger on the pulse of the South African music scene. So you get quite a nice, diverse process. But it also means that everybody gets if you're good, you stand a really good chance.
Yeah.
And then what we will do is I will get the final amount, and then I've been programming forever. So 30 years of programming. Then what I would do is we place them at specific times, at specific venues, and then and try and get them as much exposure as possible. I mean, a great outcome for us as well was BCUC. So BCUC also played in 2015 when nobody knew them. We had a French agent that was doing a show with another artist that we were working with. Okay, and the French agent was like, "Who are these people?"
Yeah, and look how big they've become now.
They are doing. I don't know. I just saw the poster of how many shows that they were doing, and they couldn't fit it into a page. So I don't know, maybe 60, 90 gigs, 80 gigs that they're doing in Europe this year. It's a great story, a narrative to speak of what happens to artists as they go through their journey.
And what do you think is at the heart of the success of Fête de la Musique?
I think because it's free, it's for all, and I think it's a vibe here in South Africa, which is really great for us. And I think it's the essence of this festival. In France, it's as well free, and it's what gives success. Because when you have to pay for a concert, for sure you pay talent, but like I don't know, like your kids could play in the street and you could see them, and maybe it will be great. So that's what is the essence of this festival, I think.
All right, Brett, give us details.
Okay,
when, what time, all those details.
So Newtown Junction, as I said, they've been the hub. They've been supporting it for almost 10 years. So they're a partner. Okay, 3 stages. It starts at 12, finishes at 6.
Okay.
Then Vic Yards, which is a super cool space. It's the south, I should say east side of town.
Beautiful, yeah.
It's a beautiful space. And then we've got 2 stages running there. So, and then obviously for Alliance Française, where we've got the other stage, 12 to 2. 12 to 6 is when they're going to be running.
Yeah.
And then what people do, which is quite fun, is they do all 3. So you cruise around, you go and catch one act there, one act there, one act there, and they're not that far away from each other. So everything's like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So you can get by with it.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for talking to us. Good luck with Fête de la Musique. Well, speaking to us about this year's Fête de la Musique is co-producer Brad Holmes and French Institute of South Africa's project manager, Laurentine Kropas, speaking to us about Fête de la Musique, which takes place in Johannesburg on June 20th. All right. June
24th.
24th. All right. And okay, that is all happening there later in the and that beautiful venue, Victoria Yard.